Well, the last thing that I wanted to do before we went ahead and signed off tonight is I want to give you guys my best bets. My best bets for this upcoming week. And we actually did a pretty good job, all things considered, with how we put together our best bets. We ended up going 3 for 5. This is what our 4 for 4 special was last week in terms of betting, and it was a good week overall. Ole Miss and Mississippi State, that Egg Bowl, it was well under 54.5. We nailed that right on the money. Memphis, also a team that dominated their game against Temple, their last game of the regular season. They won 45-24, so they covered at 11.5. So we were doing pretty good here. Notre Dame, they dominated Stanford as well. They get their 9th win of the season, so we were right there as well. The only one that we got wrong was Eastern Carolina. It was still a really close game, but Tulsa was able to win off of a last-second field goal on the road. So Tulsa did beat Eastern Carolina by 2 singular points. We were very close. Tough way to lose, but a great week overall. 3 for 4. We're definitely taking that, no problem whatsoever. But how do we build off of this? How do we build off of the success that we had late in the regular season and taking it in the conference championship weekend? Well, let's go ahead and dive right into that. Let's not wait too much longer. So these bets, I did lock in Monday morning, so they may or may not have changed since the last time I looked at these lines in particular. But generally speaking, when I was looking at the lines on FanDuel, these are what my lines are based off of. I'm looking at the overs. I actually really like the overs in every single conference championship game. I think we're going to be in for an exciting weekend. For those of you that prefer the offensive side of the ball than the defensive side. That being said, though, there are 4 in particular that I love over the others. We're going to start with Friday nights. We'll have one Friday night bet, New Mexico State and Liberty. We got the over here at 53.5. I think that's going to be an exciting game in the Conference USA. Liberty's got a chance to be undefeated, while Jeremy Krill and his guys could get possibly their 11th win. I mean, stuff you don't even hear about unless it's an NCAA 14. Really excited to see how this game plays out. I think we see a good dose of scoring. I got New Mexico State and Liberty with that 53.5. In addition, we go to the SEC Championship next. I think the SEC Championship could be an absolute classic. Georgia and Alabama going up against each other could possibly be considered one of those play-in games for the college football playoff, depending on how things shake out. Georgia, they're going to be in. Alabama might need a little bit of help. They might also need Texas to lose if Alabama finds a way to win. But we're not looking at the spread. We're looking at the over at 55.5. I think we got a pretty good and intriguing matchup here as well. Going to the American. How about the America's Conference? SMU and Tulane going at it. This is a game that is going to be slept on because SMU is likely not going to be ranked in the top 25. Because it's not a top 25 ranked matchup, naturally people are not going to care as much. But this is going to be 2 really good teams going at it. 2 10-win teams in the American, possibly a New Year's Six Bowl on the line for Tulane in particular. But again, not going with the spread. We are sticking with that over. The over on this one, last time we checked, was at 50.5, and we're definitely going to take that as well. Should be a fun game, but we're taking the over. And finally, Sun Belt Championship game. Got the Troy Trojans taking on a team that didn't even win their division technically. James Madison actually won one of the divisions in the Sun Belt, but because of the NCAA probation period from going from the FCS up to the FBS level, they will be not allowed to compete for a Sun Belt championship. Instead, it's Appalachian State, who has been hot as of late. They will go to Alabama to play this Troy Trojan squad for the Sun Belt title. We're really intrigued by how this game goes in the Sun Belt, but in the meantime, we're going with the over here of 51.5. And yeah, that is going to be my best bets. best of luck if you do decide to gamble. Make sure you do gamble responsibly. There are resources out there if you do have a gambling addiction. Just know that you are not alone. But if you are a responsible gambler and you made it to the end of this podcast, hopefully this is a sign for you to tail some of my bets, or all of them if you want to do that. If you're feeling that kind of spiciness in your life, I want to just help you win some money. That's what it's all about at the end of the day.